So we are going to start. First of all, I would like to thank to, sorry, here we have a problem with my presentation. Sorry. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to this special webinar. My name is Soledad Díaz. I'm Managing Director of the Spanish Association of Science and Technology Park. This is a special webinar about international use of disruptive technologies, and is organized by a Spanish technology platform for disruptive technologies, what we call Disruptive. Disruptive is managed by the Association of Science and Technology Park, APTE, is one of the Spanish technology platform funded by Ministry of Science and Innovation through a Spanish Science Agency, and is focused on the promotion of knowledge development and application of disruptive digital technologies. Currently, we have in Disruptive more than 460 members from different kinds of entities, startup companies, universities, R&D groups, technology center, etc. But they all have one thing in common: an interest in digital transformation. The main goal of this webinar is to promote knowledge, and in this case also the international collaboration, the synergy between Spanish and Polish companies and organizations interested in this type of technologies. Before proceeding, I would like to thank Poznan Science and Technology Park for helping us to contact with these three companies that are participating in today's webinar as speakers. The attending of the webinar can write in the chat the question they want to ask to our speakers, and then they will answer at the end of the event once they finish their speeches. In today's webinar, we are going to learn about use cases of digital technologies of three companies located in Poznan Central Park. These companies are going to explain us how they are applying, for example, artificial intelligence, blockchain, or IoT. Each speaker has 15 minutes to present their use cases. So let's go to know the first one from the hand of Andrzej Chybicki, I think is correct the pronunciation, that is the co-founder of Inero Software. So Andrzej, when you want, the floor is yours. The virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Soledad. It's a great thing to have an opportunity to speak to you today. So I have a short presentation, about 15-20 minutes. Please be patient. It's not exactly 15 minutes, but I hope it won't be much longer. Let me share my screen with you. I hope you can see it in a moment. Let me know if everything is fine. And I hope you can see my screen right now. Do you see?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay. So first of all, thank you for introducing me. My name is Andrzej Chybicki, so you were quite close about my name. One more thing, we are not located in the Poznan Technology Park, but in Gdańsk Technology Park, which is cooperating with Poznan, but that's not that far away in terms of distance from Poland to Spain.
Okay.
Anyway. The idea for my presentation is to give you some sort of the sector we are working in as a company. We are quite a young technology company. We specialize in IT technologies, especially in artificial intelligence for logistics. And today, in a few words, I would like to say of how we see some challenges, how we see the logistics sector, especially in the terms of digital technologies in today's, and what sort of challenges we see, and how can we assess these challenges in order to develop some interesting business opportunities in this sector. So just to give you how we see some certain things in this sector, especially in the 2022, 2023 and forwards. What we see in the sector is quite in a difficult situation, as we all see this in Europe, but not only in Europe, as well in the US. So we have rising energy prices. If you're dealing with any supply, with any transport, you see that the demand and supply of products, of goods, is very variable and changes from time to time. The structure of supply chains also differs in many things. So we have some big geopolitical shifts, like relocating production from East Asia to partly to Europe, partly to US. So that is called also decoupling, and that causes big changes, big shifts in general supply chain structure. And moreover, on top of it, as we look at the sector, it's very hard to foresee how the future of the sector will exactly look like. So we have a lot of challenges and a lot of threats, and we have to adapt them in order to stay competitive at this market. So what are the, let's say, main challenges at logistics at upcoming years? So the main problems are disruptions of supply chains that is caused by geopolitical events, war. We have a lot of uncertainty that is caused by Brexit here in Europe, by Ukrainian situation, by migrant situation, and a lot of things that are related to some security and safety of the transport. There are plenty of technologies, plenty of new products actually that deal with the transport security in carriers, in shipping, in many other areas. So due to Brexit, due to this difficult security situations, we have also a lot of interoperability requirements. So especially in Brexit, we have a lot of formal things to be done when we are actually transporting goods from continental Europe to Britain, right? So, of course, as I said, the cost of the transport actually are rising. And the things we deal, especially here in Europe, with the environmental impact. So we change some sources of energy, like there was oil and gas, but now it's a different ecological green energy, so-called. So that makes all of our challenges set in the terms of how can we address these challenges by using digital technologies. So apart from that, there are many problems and challenges on the market. We also see some good things still, and also we foresee them in a let's say visible future. So what we expect is also the high demand for transport services, even higher than we can see right now, probably. There's a good transport infrastructure, so the roads, highways are still ports. So there's still a very good infrastructure. It will be probably getting even better in the upcoming years. So the next good thing when thinking about transport is that the technology becomes more accessible. So as far as some of you may remember, 10, 15 years ago, technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning were only reserved from very particular set of companies and corporations, but now they are actually available for smaller companies, for every company. The same goes with I think what Paweł will be speaking about IoT and all the sensors and devices that are interconnected together. So basically all the carrier monitoring, all the transport is censored. So we have a data about the transports. We often have a real-time monitoring of the transport. And we have more and more services that are public that are actually now digitalized. So we don't have to fill a lot of papers. We don't have to do a lot of paperwork, but we just connect to some certain digital systems so we can share or transfer some certain information. So that is a good thing generally. So when having this in mind, how we see the transport, because we are specialized in digital transport. So how we see the things right now is that even though the situation is quite difficult, for many of us, very, very specific, I think for all of us is very specific. We didn't have experience with war, with Brexit, with changing European Union, with green transformation. That is all new for us, but that also gives us some certain opportunities in the terms of digital technology. So what we see in the terms of the companies that actually are involved in transport, so like carrier, shipping, etc. So the chances is that we need to, in this world, we need to quickly and efficiently understand the changes that happen on the market. And if we see these changes, we need to adapt to them and learn from them. When we adapt them, we can stay competitive to the market. So what we believe in Inero Software is that the key activities in the terms of technology to achieve some sort of competitive advantage, some sort of unfair advantage, something that is trigger your development of your company, is that we need to learn, we need to observe, we need to learn from the data, and we need to adapt the changes that we are retrieving from the data. So that is called, what we also call it is a so-called data assisted and data driven decisions. So when we have a data, we can retrieve the knowledge from the data using IT technology. Basing on the knowledge, we can make some decisions. There don't have to be the decisions that are only driven by the data, but they can also be assisted by the data. And if we put these 3 steps into some sort of the process in still this always changing environment, then we can have, if we accept the basic thing that the change is a process, then we can achieve some sort of advantages in digital technologies. So coming from this, let's say, a little broader perspective of how we see the things in the digital technology, I think that there are a few, let's say, direct activities that can be used, that should be undertaken for companies that work in the logistics sector to be more competitive on the market. The first thing is to structurize and understand the process that is performed. So a few years ago, when the technology, like 10, 20 years ago, when the technology was not that present in all aspects of our life, we used to have processes written on our paper cards. We had them in our minds, we had them in our experience. But what companies need to do right now is to structurize the process and transfer the process from your knowledge, from your paper cards, to your digital environment. That is often called the digital twin. Like these are the concepts when you actually want to optimize anything. So what you need to do is you need to have some formal description of the processes you do. When you have your process designed, when you have them when you actually structure this process, so there are a lot of ideas and activities that we see in the market is to apply sensors and to apply data collection wherever it is available. So the idea of many founders, of many people that are managers of the companies, think that once they have a lot of the data, so they can, it is better. Well, I would say as an engineer, as an AI engineer, I would say it's not always better to have a lot of the data, but it's always good to have good data. So what we need to think about when we actually apply sensoring and apply data collection mechanisms is we need to do it reasonably. So we need to take care of the data quality and quality assessment of the data. We don't need all of the data that's available, but we need the data to make some certain decisions. And that is very important, I think, because you can really, it can take a lot of money and a lot of effort to have a lot of the data, but actually very small amount of the data is very critical for some decisions in some aspects. So once we have a data collected, we know its quality, we understand the data. So then we can use this data as a decision factor. And as I mentioned before, there are some certain processes where we need to have a decision, like some sort of say in real time. So then we have a full data-driven decisions. But if we make some strategic or tactic decisions, when we manage teams, when we manage big companies, not all data decisions are crucial to be made in real time or very quickly. So what we need to have is to have a general idea of our processes. So we can apply them either as a data decision or data assisted decisions, right? And these are, I think, key activities when what we predict in the upcoming years in the digital sector of transport. So just to going from this very broad perspective, just to give you an idea of how these activities actually go a little bit lower to some certain systems and products. So there are actually some trends in the sector, like real-time sensoring, like career security, career monitoring, damage monitoring. What you see on the left, it is performed on many systems like telematics integrations, like telematics position dissemination, etc. So the same goes with supply chain visibility. So once you have a manufacturer that produces some goods or some services and transports them to several locations in Europe, what do manufacturers want is they want to have an overview of how their goods are actually located and when they are transported and when they arrive to some certain destinations. So companies like Skiba or Transporeon, these are the leaders in this market. Automations of interactions between carriers, freight forwarders, and planners. That's a very important thing. So what the sector does, actually, it uses web technologies, some sort of AI technologies to speed up the processing of the freight forwarding. So just to make the transport orders, shipping quicker, faster, more efficient. And the most important, especially in the terms of rising costs of oil and gas and energy, is the planning operations. So once we have a lot of orders, we have a big amount of vehicles, big amount of goods to be transported in our operations. So the planning operations optimization becomes more important. So that is called the VRP planning or fleet and cost optimizations. And so these are actually, I would say, the trends in the terms of digital technologies that are currently we see on the market and probably will take place in upcoming years as well. So what we do in our company, just to give you a quick overview, is actually we provide the services in digital logistics. So we have services and we also have some certain products. I will share a short description of two of these products that are related to digital logistics and also to geospatial. But as I mentioned before, the cybersecurity, the security of the data, personal data, business data is always very important. So we also deal with this in almost every project, especially with enterprises when we cooperate, when we make services when we provide services for big enterprises. The cybersecurity is even more important than actually efficiency right now due to our, let's say, local East European situation, but I think it's all over the Europe. And above this, we use machine learning in a different aspects, different areas like TensorFlow, PyTorch, Dialogflow, chatbots, DeepSpeech or YOLO. There are different technologies that we use in order to make some of processes more efficient, I would say. So just to give you a short summary, because slowly my presentation is heading towards an end. Just to give you some examples that we offer to our customers in the terms of transport. So the first one is a Dox quality, and the second one is a DeliverMate, which is real-time visibility and fleet optimization platform. And we created a Dox quality, which is a sort of the SAS platform, but also can be used as an on-demand application software, as we see in a lot of, especially transport companies, that we see a lot of documents that are processed in transport companies. Like there are hundreds of thousands of pages of each document. So we see there are a lot of document flow management systems. We see that there are a lot of invoices. There are a lot of contracts, there are a lot of agreements, there are a lot of recipes that are provided by shipping carriers, etc. So what we wanted to do by implementing the Dox quality is we want to verify the quality of any document that is received by our clients, that is scanned or is delivered by email. And we want to verify the quality of this document before injecting it into your workflow, because we have blurred recipe or blurred invoice. It cannot be actually used in any repository system. So I don't want to say details about how we integrate Dox quality with many applications like ERP, CRMs, or with email systems, etc. But all this is available in Dox quality. But just to give you a short idea how the Dox quality works, so there are plenty of sorts of documents, like they are blurred with low resolution, with low contrast, some sort of recipes that have different disruptions like shadows, uneven lighting, rotation, overexposition, low contrast, or just low lighting, etc., etc. So what we do in the Dox quality is actually we can analyze every document, and for every document, Dox quality gives some sort of prediction for every document. that gives some certain attributes and its value in a certain aspects of the document. So we can see, for instance, here that is some sort of CMR that is a very important document in transport. If you work in transport, you are probably aware of this. But what you can see here is that you have a let's say low quality written text which is not fully readable. So what Docs Quality does is detects some sort of regions on the documents that are poorly handwritten, that are not readable, and you can see that the quality of this text is quite low. You can also, if you have a closer look, we could also see that this document is a little bit blurred. Maybe you cannot see on this presentation, but this is the sort of document. This is just blurred. So you have also in the quality attributes, you have also the high blur attribute that you can estimate if the document actually is readable. So this is one of the aspects. So I don't have time to discuss in more detail, but I'll be happy to share with you some more information. So in the terms of this presentation, there are some certain benefits you can see here by using the Docs Quality. But what is also important that we are of course wanted to give some business value to our customers, but we also seek some for bilateral cooperation on many ways. So like in market analysis, we work on some language processing of these documents. So I would happy to share with you my knowledge and some of experiences of how we use Docs Quality, but you also could share some experience with us, and maybe that could give some interesting opportunities for cooperation in the future. And just to give you a short information about the second system is the DeliverMate, that is the fleet optimization platform. Currently, we are cooperating with one of the biggest fleet companies in Poland. So what we currently do with DeliverMate is that we optimize over 2,000 vehicles daily for over 20 divisions and over 10,000 pallets daily. So that's a huge amount of the data that we actually deal with. And we optimize all the transport in this company. And what we do is, just to give you a short description, we use an artificial intelligence to provide optimal plans of deliveries for big fleet optimization. And we also integrate with over 80 real-time telematics systems in order to gather the data about all the last mile delivery process. I think my time is over right now. I don't want to use it anymore and give opportunity to others. So these are my contact information. So our company is not actually a startup. It's a young technology company. We are on the market for over 5 years. We've got references. We got good opinions about companies. We also work with some companies and some entities like Gdańsk University of Technology in the terms of EU funds. So that's not actually our priority, but we are happy to be a part of some EU initiatives like, well, we are happy to also cooperate on this level as well. Soledad, thank you for your time. If there are any questions, I will be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Andrew. A great presentation. As you say, you are open to collaboration with Spanish entities and companies. This is an important point. Maybe this webinar is the starting point to this collaboration. I hope so. So just one question, and then we can follow it with more questions at the end of the webinar. So I would like to do one question for you is, you have any experience of collaboration with the Spanish companies before?
I would have to check my, I think we have cooperated with some of the Spanish companies. I believe that was Airbus, which is not actually the Spanish company, but I remember that we cooperated with the headquarters that are division that is based in Airbus. So I already have some experience, although not that much actually, that I would like to have.
Okay, thank you so much. Now is the turn of Paweł Skiba, is head of IoT and artificial intelligence and RapidLab. And I think this morning he's going to explain the use case of Apollogic. Is right?
Yes. Let me just share my screen.
Paweł, that in Spanish is Pablo.
Es Pablo, sí, en polaco, Paweł. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect, right now.
Okay. Buenos días, señoras y señores. Me llamo Pablo, en polaco es Paweł. Soy especialista en Internet de las Cosas y inteligencia artificial. Y creo que eso es todo lo que decir en español. Gracias. Let's switch to English then. I'm representing RapidLab. My team consists of IoT engineers, which means we build electronics from scratch. We prototype electronics, focusing on telemetry system and connectivity connected with Edge AI. I will tell you in details how does it work in a minute, because usually when people or companies all over the world think about digitalization and Industry 4.0, there is an IoT term somewhere in the middle of those discussions, but not many people really know how really does it work. So let me show you one example. Those buses, this picture was taken in Bogota, in Colombia, because Bogota has the biggest BRT in the world, which means business rapid transit system. As you might see, those buses has a separate line, which are not interfering with the cars, with the normal traffic. They go in the middle of the huge road, and there are thousands of those buses daily, 2.3 million passengers every day. So this is like a terrible, huge amount. As you can imagine, they have several challenges to face. So the topic which they came to us was actually reduced fare tickets control. Because can you imagine if we have those tickets in Colombia, it's called tu llave, your key, the small plastic card, RFID card, which you just scan every time you enter the bus stop. It's all fine, but how about the people who are using the tickets which are owned by someone else? Let's say I am using the tickets from my grandmother. So I should pay like a full rate, but if I use a ticket of my grandmother, I'm paying like a half rate. And having 2.3 million passengers daily, no one actually can control that. And the other case is a COVID spread. So if all of those huge amount of people entering the bus stops or the bus itself are really healthy, or they have maybe a fever, how to control that? So we came with several ideas, like a face recognition, like a fingerprint scanning, and so on, and thermal vision for measuring the body or skin temperature. But those topics are not like a straightforward. You can imagine you need a device. You need a device on every station, actually, which are connected somehow in this huge system, which controls all of that. And having such amount of people, you cannot have any delays, like 1 second for each passenger is already too much. So such devices, they don't exist on the market. It's not something like you can just go to the shop and buy. You need the companies which are focusing on the Internet of Things and Edge AI to build them for you and to integrate it with your ticketing system and with your gates entering the bus stops and so on. So let me show you quickly how the process of creating such device and programming it really looks like, so you can have a feeling how to implement IoT in your own company, in your business. First of all, we need to start with the design, because we speak with the customer. We need to understand the needs. We are not industry-specific company. We build electronics for medical, for automotive, for production. That doesn't really matter, as you may see also for Bogota public transportation. We are specialists of electronics, but you are specialists in your business field. So we have to talk with you. We have to understand what you really need, and then we design something which can help you. We start with the design of the PCB board. That's an electronic circuit, electronic board, which is in the middle of a device. As you can see, first it's virtually. You can see it on the screen. we need to place all of the components or the ports, like I know HDMI or microphones or some vibration sensors or any other sensors. We need to place them on the boards, on the cables, plan everything. Actually, when we have it, we need to really build that stuff. That it needs to be a physical device, which you can see, which you can touch, which you can really use and integrate. So the first prototypes are usually done manually. So here, our engineers really need to get their hands dirty. They need to solder everything. All those little tiny components, they have to be done. Like 1 or 2 pieces is done in our lab here in Poznań, in Poland. When we have this first prototype ready, it's the chance it will work out of the box is very, very low. It's the same like with the programming. When you implement a programming system, you have plenty of developers, they write the code. It never works on the first time. But with the code, it's a bit simpler because you just need to change the line of code and recompile it and just run it again and test again. With a physical device, it's not so easy. You need to track actually the error, the something which is mistaken, and it could be everything. So our engineers actually sit down and look for all the issues in the first prototype. If it works with testing that during the test, of course, in the real time and in the real world environment, in your factory or everywhere, there might be some issues. We need to identify what is causing the issue. So usually the first prototype is quite big. Because we don't focus on the miniaturization or on the shape, everything, we focus on the functionality. And finally, if there are some issues, we find them. And imagine this thing you can see on the screen now is the HDMI port. I think all of us know what the HDMI is. You connect your beamer or TV to HDMI actually. And in this red circle in the middle, there are several very little pins. And imagine our engineers did some mistake, made some mistake, and those pins are not in a correct order. So in case of coding and programming, you can just change the line of code, but in case of hardware, it's not such an easy thing. So we need to find a workaround, because ordering another PC board and making it again and again for all of the issues makes the whole process really, really long. We have all the stuff which is needed to correct such issues immediately. So we fix them ourselves, using such things. So we just, if you see those little cables, the thing which you see on the screen is like 1 centimeter big. So instead of ordering everything from scratch, the first iteration usually looks like this. And when we finally figure out all of those fixes which needs to be done, our customers realize during the test, okay, we might need some additional port, maybe not HDMI, maybe we need some, I don't know, bus connection or something. Maybe we need additional sensor, some temperature, humidity, pressure, anything. We add it, and then we start another iteration of the PC board, which is then much smaller, which has all of the things you really need. And we start the process again. When we have the hardware ready, it needs to have some functionality. So what we have to do, we usually add a little AI. If we have edge AI computing, which means the artificial intelligence running on the device itself, we have to create a very small, very smart model, AI model, using machine learning techniques, which can run on a very small device using small resources, because that's not the cloud, that's the device itself. It doesn't need any connectivity. Let's say you can use it whatever you need if it's running on the edge. So in this case, for a fever detection, we use a thermal cameras. That's a thermal camera, the one which you can see on the screen. It's a really small thing, quite expensive. And we can imagine, okay, if we have a thermal vision, then we know, okay, there is a fever, there is no fever, but that's not true. That's not such an easy thing, because thermal cameras, they are not measuring body temperature. They are measuring the skin temperature. And skin temperature is never 36.6 Celsius. It's much different in the winter time when you enter from like a cold, freezing environment, you enter the office and the camera is in the office or in the factory where the temperature is much different. It will measure like 30 degrees, maybe 28 degrees. And next month will be much warmer, or even the same day will be much warmer in the evening. You enter the room and your temperature is not 28, it's maybe 33. So actually we need AI model who can recognize the environment conditions and properly measure your temperature to show if you are having fever or you are a healthy person. So to train AI model, we need to collect a lot of data. That's a thermal vision. You can see myself on the right side. Even with the mask, we do a lot of testing because, you know, from the COVID times, we have this mask in many premises, also in Poland, the same in Spain. And we need to take those pictures, train this data like hundreds or thousands of them in different situations, in different environments to teach our AI model how it should work. But the thing is to properly recognize anomalies, which in our case is a fever, you need actually to have a picture of a sick, ill people who are really having fever, which is not such easy thing, you know, to convince my engineers to go to the hospital and take some pictures of an ill people. They don't want to do this, and no one actually will let us do it, to go to the hospital. Eh? So we had an idea first. Let's go to sauna. Let's go to sauna to take some hot pictures, let's say. Yeah? But we did not realize the sauna works a bit different. Our skin really got hot, but can you see the eyebrows here and the hair? In the case of sauna, our hair was like 70 or 80 degrees Celsius, and then the skin looks really cold. So those pictures are actually useless for an AI algorithm because that's not natural situation. Yeah, when you have fever, your eyebrows are not red, your eyebrows are just regular. Yeah? So the sauna thing, but that's an R&D work. Yeah? Whatever we do, if you're looking for a fever or we are looking for an, I don't know, anomaly in some kind of machine, because we would like to predict if the machine will fail at some point, we need actually to find this failure so our AI can recognize it at some point. So that's an R&D work. One approach works, the other not. So one day I came back from the office to my home and my wife said, you know, this little guy, my son, has fever again. And she was taking actually some medicine. So I said, stop, don't give him any medicine. I called the guys from RapidLab and I say, guys, just please bring me thermal camera and you have 30 minutes. So that's what IoT father does. And you can see on the right side, how bright is this guy. So comparing to the mother and to his brother, there is a fever, yeah? And we need actually such training data to properly recognize, to teach our AI algorithm. This is how it works. And then after all of these steps, I have all of those weeks spent on hardware development and AI development and programming, we have the device which you can start certify, because there are also some more boring steps like certification, like electromagnetic compatibility and so on. But that's our thing. We are experts in this topic, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, yeah, that's it. So after this short introduction to IoT and Edge AI, you can imagine how this process looked like and how actually you can collaborate with us or any other company who are doing IoT to implement this digitalization IoT way in your own business. Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you so much for your great presentation. I'm going to do the same question to Andrew. Are you have any experience in collaboration with Spanish companies before?
Yes, yes, we actually did one project with a company located in San Sebastian in Basque Country. Okay. This is NDA protected, you know, because most of the things which we do for our customers are the projects which are not yet on the market. So our customers are really worried because they create a patents for that. They are protecting the IPs, and usually we don't have much to show because we are waiting like 2 years for patenting stuff together with our customers. And then after that, we can actually tell about the details.
Okay. Thank you so much. And finally is the turn of Gabriel Dymowski, that is his CEO of DoxyChain. Are you here, Gabriel? Yes, it's in the audience, but I don't know if are you ready, Gabriel? I was in the audience, but I can't find right now. I think Gabriel is not now. Yeah, it's connecting right now. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give the opportunity to share. Okay, Gabriel, are you ready?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Gabriel, how are you?
Pretty busy morning, but ultimately in office, so I finally can do this. So thank you so much, and thank you so any problem which occurs today morning because of me.
Don't worry, don't worry. Are you going to use a PowerPoint presentation for your speech?
Absolutely, right.
Okay, you can share right now.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. 1 second. So first of all, it was very interesting presentation before. I don't understand everything, a lot of IoT hardware. I'm a little bit more, not a little bit, actually DoxyChain is fully about software subscription model, purely software solution. So let's starting. A lot of you may heard about blockchain technology, mainly because of the cryptocurrencies, about speculation, about crazy NFT projects. So DoxyChain is a team consists of 20 people. Previously, we've been working with implementing this technology for banks, insurance company, even working and helping governments to enter with this technology. So with our peers 5-year experience in this technology, we decided to build the best blockchain-based solution dedicated for the specific niche, which is document management space. And this is what about DoxyChain is. So what problem and what opportunity, what unique selling proposition, what magic sauce DoxyChain bringing to the market. So already mentioned, we've been working for banks, for insurance company, for certification company, and they really see that the blockchain is about security and transparency. And even one day, not today, but because of the smart contracts can bring automatization to their process and even open a new business model. So one fact, it's confirmed that everybody would like to be a part of a game of Web3, not staying in Web2 centralized solution. But the problem is, if they were thinking about dedicated solution for documents, there was nothing like that. They very often came to the Hyperledger Fabric solution prepared by IBM, which actually it's not a blockchain. They very often use the Ethereum. You may know this public, the biggest public blockchain today. But this solution was not dedicated for documents. So where we find our sweet spot based on our experience and based on the real market pain, it's becoming the bridge for enterprises clients who are already in Web2 domain, and they would like to enter with their documents with security, transparency, and even smart contracts. So being the part of the Web3 game. So the beautiful of our solution is that we don't only serve for Web2 projects, but we are also the solution for startups, for DAO, for solution, which are already in Web3 game, but they still need to sign documents, sign partnership, make hirings. So they need for legal signature. So they are looking for solution which can bring an impact to Web2. So to summarize, we are the bridge between Web2 and Web3, just dedicated for blockchain documents. And how it looks. So the magic behind this project is that we don't ask banks, insurance company, governments to trust DoxyChain just because we have a blockchain. No, actually, the way how we bring the centralization to this segment is that we encourage our clients to take a note of the system and participate in the system. So some of you may know DocuSign, some of you may know HelloSign, Adobe, Authentic. which are the really great examples of Web 2.0 solution, which is ultimately database centralized in the one hands of institution, Big Brother in the US, for example. So as we're observing no longer about revolution, but evolution internet to more decentralized layer, we encourage our clients that, hey guys, co-create the system with us, participate in this blockchain, and this system will be no longer in one institution as it was, for example, with DoxyChain last 20 years. But you, JP Morgan, you, PwC, can co-create the system which is independent from the one entity. And this is actually how we aim and how we answer actually for demands of the market. Make our digitalization process more transparent, more secure. And the beautiful of our solution is that we are not only a blockchain closet, but we are built on the Tendermint Mint consensus. So it means that we can be, basically speaking, very quickly plug and play, combined with other blockchains like Cosmo, and you can, for example, if insurance company will go to us and they will looking for legally binding documents, and they would like that this document can trigger some payment in crypto, it actually can be done by DoxyChain, nobody else at the market right now. And ultra important, because we've been working and implement this kind of solution previously, and it was very often projects which last actually years. The way how we prepare the DoxyChain infrastructure, it's possible to be done and implement for enterprises actually in weeks. So very quickly, not make you boring, but I would like to just give you an overview how big the market we are talking about. So DoxyChain was fighting last 20 years about a signature market, which is worth 18 billion. Take a look about the smart contracts only in document management space. We are talking about 23 billion in the next 5 years. It's an enormous market with a great opportunity where enterprises would like to investigate and invest. And magic behind the project, we are the Deep Tech conference. So you may know a lot of blockchain projects. So 3 reasons why DoxyChain is outstanding in comparison to the other players in the market. So first, we prepare the modular architecture. It means that we don't believe just having a blockchain. We will ask huge banks to take DoxyChain as the critical infrastructure. We have prepared another 11 independent boxes that allows us actually to be implemented as easy as a Stripe today is. The second point is that we don't only use a blockchain as a stupid database. Sorry for saying that, but a lot of people just have a beautiful buzzword that we are blockchain-based solution. It's not true. If something will happen on your SaaS version of application and you just will push something to the blockchain, it's not means that you are blockchain-based solution. If you are truly blockchain-based solution, it means that the whole logic of the system is governed from the centralized layer. And this is how DoxyChain is prepare our system. The whole logic is governed from the blockchain via smart contracts. And last but not least, the CTO of DoxyChain co-founder with previous 7 years in the blockchains in Asian and European protocols. We prepared our own DoxyChain blockchain, which address any issue about the cost per transactions, as well as GDPR and other privacy issue. About landscape. So DoxyChain was not the first one who started investigating blockchain document management space, but so far one of the leading in Europe and the best one. So you may know some nodes like Icertis, like Wallet Acronis, the company which 4 years ago received tons of money from the venture capital. But once again, if they were looking Bitcoin or the Ethereum, the technology which actually was not prepared for document management system for business, it makes that they don't have clients. And this is still a huge blue ocean that we, with our solution, would like to address with. So on top of this beautiful story, how actually our clients using this application? So we have so far 3 preliminary use cases, but around those workflows you would like to grow. So the first is Doxy Connect. Let's imagine that some company is doing M&A and they need data room. So DoxyChain was preparing a data room that company can exchange easily and securely documents, and each action taken around these documents, it's saved by the blockchain technology independent body. So they don't need to go to the notary, but actually blockchain here is act as a notary on demand. Second is the DoxyChain document management space. So basically speaking, we are so easy that you can sign your documents like DocuSign, like using DocuSign, but you have guarantee that in time, any issue will be not changing this document, and information around this document will be changed in time. And what is ultra important, that we are Web3 signature, which is respected by the Polish government, by the European authority, that you can submit your documents to the court, and this signature is binding. So it's great overview how the Web3 project can actually have an impact here to Web2 domain. And lastly, this is what we are launching actually right now. It's Doxy certificates. So we are obsessed about security. So we find that we are looking for the documents which is really important, it's security. So we found that the certificates is the one who really need to be transparent and really secure. So we are right now launching a Doxy certificates, which will be game changer in terms of how we actually trade the physical artworks, how we're launching and recipients of the cosmetics or pharma, and going further with the luxury goods and even system and people skills and qualification. For those of you who are interested also how we're gonna make money on top of this. So we believe in the purely software subscription, right? We are project for the future, but we believe that on top of this, we can build a hockey stick and make a monetization of this project. We just closed our 2.2 seed round, which with a participation out of Germany, Switzerland, and Polish venture capital. So we have right now on board 20 people, and with a pure great experience and track record in the blockchain domain. And we are ready together to build a completely new standard for document management space by really mature way of using blockchain technology in this domain. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. Thank you so much for your presentation. At the similar situation before, I would like to ask if you have any previous experience of collaboration with Spanish companies.
Actually, no. We so far, despite Poland, we are present on the DACH region, especially because of the venture capital who participate in our growth and development. And nevertheless, Spanish landscape would be something brand new for us. Okay, I hope this webinar will be the beginning of this collaboration. So let's see, hopefully, right. Now it's the time for our audience to add something to our speakers. If anybody wants to add something to Gabriel, Pablo, and Andrew, is our chance, our opportunity to ask something to them. I don't know if anybody has a question for our speakers. If you want to open your microphone, you can do the question directly to our speaker. So I have some questions. So while our audience is preparing the question, I would like to do some questions to, for example, to Andrew. I think my question is very difficult to answer, but I'm going to try. I would like to know if you are measuring the reduce of fuel, of gas, or energy of your customers in terms of profitability of your solution in the logistics sector.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and actually it's not that much difficult. Yes, we do, of course. We have a real-time visibility model. So what we do actually is we combine all the telematics. Telematics is a systems that provides you a position of every vehicle that is in our system. So when we have that, actually we can manage the number of kilometers that every vehicle passes every day, every month, and so on. So what we do when we start planning and we start optimization, so we have a reporting model. So we make sort of the comparisons between of how many kilometers before our optimization was performed per one order or per one vehicle, etc. and how many kilometers will be performed after we have our planning engine deployed to our customer. So that is why we actually we do not directly estimate the emission of CO2 or etc. But definitely we estimate the number of kilometers that are made by any vehicle transport. So basing on this information, we can make a report in cooperation, and we see what's actually what's cost reduction is in the terms of financial, but also in the terms of ecological costs. So we also work on the European project that was one of the main things of this project was to compare the shipment transport and road transport and how much CO2 actually is emitted to the atmosphere. So that is also our experience in this. So, but that's a very one of the most important things actually is to when we do optimization of fleet of vehicles.
Yes, this is very important for that time with the environment situation. So I would like to add something to Paweł. I think one of our audience put something in the chat. Antonio La Laguna is a Spanish multinational with presence in Poland, AFISA. I don't know if you know. I would like to be in contact with you. Okay, so it's good. I would like to ask to Paweł if you are using this dispositive that you show in your presentation to cover other challenge, not only the challenge that you show you. Of you have to create new dispositive, new gadget for cover other challenge. If you can adapt this dispositive.
Yes. Actually, the one which I showed is one of our products, our own products, which are called Edge AI gateways, which means they have like a multiple inputs, outputs. You can connect it to different sensors, different devices. You can use cameras and so on, and just change the software, the firmware. Actually, the software on the device is called firmware. So the device does not change. So all of those most difficult part is done. Yeah, so it has this AI power, it has a lot of computing power, input outputs, and it gives a lot of possibility. For example, we use it in quality control systems. We had one request from our customers who are producing tires, the tires for cars, winter tires and so on. And after the production line finished to create the tire, actually one person needs to take it, manually check if everything is fine with this wheel, and then with this tire and move it around. So what we do actually, we provide our device together with the camera and proper algorithm, which is checking if this tire is correctly done or is there any failure. So it's like automatization of the human work, which is very repetitive. Yeah, that's one case. The other case is counting people. You can use this thermal camera case, not to check in front of the face, but from above the entrance, and the people are being counted, entering and leaving. So there are really many use cases where we try always to adapt our own hardware, and if it's not possible, then we create something for the customer from scratch.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if anybody wants to do questions to our speakers. I have another question for Gabriel. I thought in your presentation that the key issue of your blockchain solution is that you are using proof of authority. What is important this aspect in your blockchain solution? And we show a proof of authority instead of other way, for example, proof of work or proof of statement. I don't know. What you should these solutions?
I love this question. It means that you prepare for this. I mean, yeah, first of all, as you know, the Bitcoin and Ethereum, probably all of us know what the first one is, the biggest crypto in the world. The second one is actually the platform on top of which we can build the centralized application. And the first is using the proof of work, which means Bitcoin. And it really needs enormous computing power. So it was very often issue about the energy. The second one, just actually 2 weeks ago, merged from the proof of work to proof of stake. So basically speaking, Ethereum says, okay, guys, if you would like to participate in this blockchain, you have to stake approximately 30 Ethereum Ether on your account, so you can be a validator. So once again, as we are business-oriented solution, from day one, we would like to sell our solution to the enterprises clients. We cannot tell them, hey guys, one day we will send you invoice for 5K, but the following one, it can be 10 or 15. It's also about the cost per transaction. So we have to use the consensus, which can be predictable in terms of time. Moreover, the consensus which will be taken by the validators that we know in this system, know that everybody in the world can participate in this system. So we use the proof of authenticity, right? So actually, we ask entity, we know who will be the validator of the system. So it's not that one day someone will participate and we have no clue who is it. But in most cases, we encourage consulting company and our clients that they will take a note of the system and participate in this system. And basically speaking, we don't have any crypto behind, so we don't have a fluctuation in terms of price. We don't have a token which is listed somewhere else. We are about the security. So this consensus allows us to give away notes the way we understand our participate on the system, and the participants know each other as well, which is also very important at this point. So yeah, it's predictable. It's much more less consumption as comparing to the proof of work, especially. And at the end of the day, proof of authenticity is some kind of proof of stake. So we are quite similar to the Ethereum. Nevertheless, we are much more less consumption energy comparing to, for instance, the proof of work. So it was several reasons, and this is how the decision was made.
Perfect, great. So we have 3 examples of companies with very respect for the environment, from the planet. So it's very, very nice. I don't know if anybody have a question. So we are in the close of time, because we're at right now it's 2:12. So we finished the webinar. Thank you so much again for your participation as speakers, and the audience for your attending, and also a very, very great thank to Poznan Science Technology Park, Justina, that is my contact in the park. I will hope that we can participate in another webinar to continue fostering the collaboration between Polish and Spanish companies. So for me, it was a very, very successful experience. I would like to see you again. Okay, thank you so much. I hope to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.